Hi, my name's Doug Miller, and I'm running for the at-large place number 1 delegate for Ron Paul in the upcoming Alabama Republican primary. But tonight I want to talk to everybody in every state that has not held their primary or caucus yet. I want to talk to you about ignoring the media hype on how important these early states are and focus on the mathematical facts of our nomination process. The first thing to consider is that all of the states that moved up their events too early took a penalty. They lost 50% of their delegates. For example, Florida, instead of having their normal 99 delegates, they'll only have 50 delegates this year. Florida's only true impact gain in this primary move is to try to be a kingmaker through media hype. The good people of Florida would have had a far more actual impact on the convention if they'd been able to send their 99 delegates. Let's look at the score. Currently, today, January 26th, Newt Gingrich has 26 delegates. Mitt Romney has 15 delegates. Ron Paul has 9 delegates. And Rick Santorum has 6 delegates. So the leader has 26 delegates. Well, he needs 1,144 delegates to win the nomination. So right now he's only got 2.36% of the delegates that he needs to win. Even if Gingrich wins the winner-take-all state of Florida and gets those 50 delegates, he'll still only have 6.73% of the necessary delegates needed to win. You may want to go to alabamaforronpaul.com and download the spreadsheet. It breaks all this down, and I recommend that you look at the spreadsheet while you listen to this video. This spreadsheet has 2 tabs. One is the election timeline, and the other tab is delegates available by dates. What I want to discuss is the delegates available by dates. I know this is math, and a lot of people don't like math, but it's very important that you understand that the media is hyping the process. Let's say, for example, one candidate had received all of the delegates that were available in every event. They could not win the nomination until March 24th, and that's after 35 events. By events, I'm referring to caucuses and primaries. And we already know that that hasn't happened. We have 4 people that have delegates. So one person can't possibly win all the delegates. But what if one person could magically win 90% of all the available delegates? They would win the nomination on April 3rd after 39 events. In fact, if one got 80%, they would still win on April 3rd, but they would only win by 9 delegates. Let's drop to 75%. The date would be April 24th after 44 events for someone to win. At 70%, it would be the same date, but by a fewer margin of delegates. I want to talk to you about 65%. At this number, the race would end on May 8th after 47 events. The reason I want to focus on 65% is that our present leader, Gingrich, currently has 41.54% of the delegates that have been cast so far. If he were to win Florida, he would move up to 66.96% of the delegates cast at that point. And that's the largest percentage that we're likely to see out of any candidate over the next 3 months. So let's drop down and look at 60%. The race would end on May 22nd after 51 events. At 55%, we go through June 5th and 56 events. Finally, we would come to 50% on June 26th after all 57 of the events. Our leader would have 99.91% of the delegates needed to win, with 1,143 delegates. That's one short of the 1,144 needed to win the nomination, and then we would have a brokered convention. If you're still awake after all that math, let me go back to my point. No one is going to win this race before May, probably later. Romney and Paul are not going to quit till the end. Gingrich and Santorum, they failed to get on the ballot for some of the events. Neither of them are on the ballot in Virginia, where 49 delegates will all either go to Romney or they'll all go to Paul on March 6th. I've already seen Gingrich Facebook pages where the people are discussing the fact that they should vote for Ron Paul to keep Romney from getting those 49 delegates. The point again, stop listening to hype. The all-important next primary isn't all important. They're all important. And you should be campaigning for Ron Paul and educating people to the reality of the situation. Please do not let Fox News tell you when it's going to be over, what's important, who will win, or how to vote. Ron Paul is a phenomenon that the media is trying to kill. The media is winning by making self-fulfilling predictions. They can do this because too many of us are listening to them like the rest of the sheep. They are giving you propaganda. I've just supplied you with mathematical facts. If you use this information, you can prove that no one can win this until at least April and probably May, which means that the media is obviously misleading you about these all-important early primaries. Please use this information to elect Ron Paul as our next president. Thank you for your time, and remember, a vote for Doug Miller is a vote for Ron Paul.